Girl, look in the mirror. Man, you're so dirty. Yeah, you look so dirty. You were never worthy. Lately, it's you.
Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. If you're easily triggered, leave now because this is not the show for you. Now, what I'm going to talk about in this reaction video, I'm going to talk about a very tragic situation that just recently happened. There's a content creator, and this lady is more manosphere than anything else. She actually is on the good side. She tells women not to be in situationships, to carry yourself with respect. Don't be a baby mom. A beautiful black woman, right? Unfortunately, she just discovered, because she always tell people to be a wife, be a wife, be a wife. And she believes in marriage. She has about 30,000 subscribers. Unfortunately, she just discovered that her husband has been SAing her daughters, forcing himself upon them. And I'm finna go off on him, but I got him. I'm gonna let her go ahead and say her story, and I'm gonna give you my analytical commentary as we go along, man. But it's a tragic story, man. Woo! Hope you're ready for this. Let's get it.
I had to end up leaving my husband. I honestly don't even really know where to start with this, just because it's just such a hard topic. And I honestly thought that by the time I got on here that I wouldn't have any tears left because I've just cried so much. It's like I built this channel and this whole brand around being this man's wife and trying to teach other women how to attract good men and provider men and all these different things. And I truly held my husband, or saw him, as the bar for what every woman should, type of man that, or type of husband that every woman should aspire to have. And I didn't realize that the person I married was actually going to be my biggest nightmare. So basically, when I first met my husband, as I've already talked about in another video, I think it was my single mom video, I explained, a little bit about how we met. And I really thought that that man was my Prince Charming. So when I first met my husband, I thought that he was my Prince Charming. I thought that he was my knight in shining armor, and he portrayed himself to be this amazing, upright, righteous Christian man. And I believed him. I think shortly after we got married, and this is something that I haven't talked about, I started noticing like certain things changed with him. And I just started to see a few things that I didn't like, but I honestly thought that some of these were things that I could get past.
Now I want you to read what she put in her video in the corner right there. She said that her husband allegedly, well, she says this herself, that he forced himself upon her and made her give him intimacy. I got to watch how I say these things, right? So she said he did this to her 4 times. Now, when you're married as a woman, your body belongs to your man and your husband's body belongs to you. But if he forces himself on you, if he's abusive to you, I don't understand why men don't understand that. If you are with a man who is extremely abusive to you in whatever way, that man will be abusive to the children, okay? Especially their daughters. If he's doing that to you in the first few months of your marriage, then what made you think that he would not be a predator to the offspring that you gave to that man? I don't understand these women sometimes. So I got to hold her accountable to that because the signs was there, the flags was there. It's not her fault though that man did that. I believe that every man who forces himself upon a youngster, an underage person, a child who cannot defend themselves, a child that is innocent, I really believe that they should be dropped into the lowest depths of the ocean and that every organ that they have should be stabbed in alphabetical order. There is nothing, that's one of the most hardest things to forgive. That is just terrible to touch 2 youngsters that's under the age of 10. He's sick. He's sick, and he needs to be inside of the prison. He needs to be underneath the prison for doing that. I hold him fully accountable. Now, for her, I got to give her accountability. She got to hold some of this blame too, because again, the signs was there. He was doing her dirty. She made a whole channel around this guy. And I like her because she say some positive things. She say a lot of things about women need to get their acts together, stop following Sexy Red, carry yourself with respect, dress modestly, have a better attitude, be pleasant. See, this is what pisses me off. We always talk about looking for women like that, who are submissive, who are nice, who are pleasant to be around. And it takes one man like this jerk to hurt her in such a way to where she will develop a trauma bond, and there's no telling where it's going to go. She may change her content to the content that we hear from Sprinkle Lady. All men ain't good. All men are bad, and all this other stuff because of this right here. I don't want her or anyone else to think that all men are like that, because we're not. It's the men that she got with. It's the men that she picked. And I still believe that there were signs before the marriage. She says during the marriage it changed. I think there were signs there before, but definitely before you had children and he was already forcing himself upon you, you should have got out then. Now those children will be dealing with this. Their minds are messed up, man. They're gonna have to get therapy as they get older. They should not have to deal with these type of things, man. When you are a young girl, and I've dated people like that, and they have been touched inappropriately by a family member or a trusted friend or a stranger, it affects them to where it's hard for them to be in relationships, period, without help, man. Let's keep going.
It's like sad to even say like I could get past some of these things. I don't even know where to start. 6 weeks ago, I was changing my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, and I noticed that when I changed her, she was red and very sensitive. And immediately, my first thought was, did someone touch her? Oh, God. Gosh. So I asked her, I said, baby, did somebody touch you? And she ended up saying it was daddy. I felt like my world ended on that day. My husband wasn't home at the time when she told me, but I knew he would be coming home soon, so all I could do was just say, don't tell him that you told me. And I just instantly started trying to think of how I could get my kids out of the house. Because I knew if I confronted him or asked him about it, that he would just lie. And that he would probably just continue to keep doing stuff to her, but just become more covert or more sneaky or whatever.
Okay, on the Jeremy Hill show, man, we talk about everything sensitive, everything that's real. Nothing is taboo here, man. And there's a lot of women who go through that. See, picking the wrong men can have disastrous consequences, man. I'm really more worried about the children, because the children is going to go through a whole lot, man, a whole lot. Also, hit the like button, man. I see in my analytics, a lot of people watch my show, a lot of people watching it, and they're not even subscribed. If you're one of those people, subscribe to the channel, because like my analytics tell me that a lot of people return to the channel beyond the amount that I have for subscribers. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and come. If you keep coming here watching this stuff and getting this stuff, come over here, okay? And go ahead and subscribe and hit that like button. I'm telling you that now while we're in the middle of the thing. Let's keep going.
As soon as my husband got home, he was actually picking up the boys from school, my two older boys from school. As soon as he got home, I told him that I was gonna go Halloween shopping with my sister because I just needed an excuse to get out of the house with all the kids. And I knew if I said something like, oh, I'm going to the grocery store, that it would be suspicious. Like, why am I bringing all the kids and like packing things, like things that we would need and things like that. So going Halloween shopping was the best thing I could think of to just hurry up and get the kids out of the house. I'm sorry, I had to get myself together. So when I got to the hospital, they basically told me that we had to go to another hospital because they didn't do physical exams, like that kind of physical exam there. So a police officer escorted the kids and I to another hospital where they were able to evaluate my daughters. It ended up coming out that he had actually been touching both of my daughters.
Again, if a man is abusive to you, he will also be abusive to the children. Do you hear what I'm saying, man? Hit the like button. I'm gonna have to say that through every video now because of what I just told you previously. So I'm gonna have to always stop it and say subscribe and hit the like button. I don't like to do that type of stuff, but I'm gonna have to do it now. And thank you to everyone who actually supports the show, who actually hits the like button, who actually is subscribed. I greatly appreciate you for being here. All right. Thank you very much. Let's keep going.
Who are only 2 and 4 years old. It still feels like a dream. Like, when when this first happened, I just kept waking up every day and just hoping that this was a dream. Because it's literally my worst nightmare. It's my worst nightmare. I myself am a product of RAPE. That's how I came to be. And was also, abused as a child by a neighbor's husband.
I give her credit for taking the children away. Why? Because some women discover that the men, especially their pookies in the hood, are doing this to their children, and they find reasons to not believe the child. They get on the child's tail, become jealous of the child, and then they stay with that man. And he continuously assaults her over and over and over again. So I got to give her some credit for that, give her flowers for that. But I really hate this situation happened. I'm sorry that she went through that herself, but I still got to say, man, the signs were already there, man. The signs was already there. This is what happens when you have broken women, man. Broken women, they would validate another person's brokenness. If she's been, and she has been, a victim of RAPE, when she was being RAPED from her husband when the first few months of the marriage, she accept that because she had already been through that. Now, if you got a woman who never been through that, they would never accept that. That's why women who don't get help for their traumas, man, they would justify the other person's behavior and just overlook it because they've been through that familiar place of pain and hurt before. Now, because she chose to ignore it, now, because she chose to go ahead and keep going, the children has now inherited the same pain that she has. So she is partly responsible for it. She's not responsible for what that man did, but she is responsible for not getting out sooner, okay? And it's sad because this is a nice looking woman. She made a channel pretty much worshiping her husband. She made a channel, which I do agree with on this part, trying to admonish and direct young women away from the streets, away from being a thought. I really commend her for that. That's why it's kind of heartbreaking to see a woman who actually stands up for the things that men in the manosphere talk about, myself included, to go through this with a no good for nothing piece of shit. It's terrible. A woman who looks like that right there, a submissive woman, a soft-spoken woman, she don't really use profanity, any type of vulgar language, she don't talk loud. Man, that woman is a jewel to a lot of men out there right now because the pickings are slim out there. So this jerk had this type of woman and was a monster. A monster, man. I wish I could find that dude personally, man. I got 3 pit bulls in the backyard that want to holler at him. Real talk.
And I specifically prayed to God that my children would never, ever, ever have to go through this. And I'm just not quite sure how this happened, why this happened. I just don't know how he was able to get away with it and so sneaky, because with my own trauma, I watch my kids like a hawk. Like, I don't like them sitting on people's laps. None of that.
You trusted the wrong man. That's why you didn't see it. Okay? That's what it is. You can't be with your kid 24/7. I hate this. I ain't gonna say this world, man, but I don't want to say hate, but this world is evil, man. Look at her face, y'all. See the pain in her face, in her eyes? She crying through the whole video, man. A nice looking black woman, man. I don't like to see that, man, because for every woman that's like her that tries to be good, there is a good man out there. I am really concerned about the aftermath of this, man. I hope it doesn't destroy her to the point where she thinks all men are bad, man. That's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm really worried about, man. But it's going to take years for her to get over this, man, because she was a victim. Now she going to blame, and trust me, she going to blame herself for them kids getting touched like that. She is, man, but she's going to compound the issues she had. Man, I hope she find deliverance, man. I hope she get freedom, man. I hope she's, you know what I mean? I really hope that, man. And contrary to popular belief, for you mustard back heifers, I do not have a disdain for black women. I think they're the most beautiful women on the planet. But I keep it real at all times. This show is a double-edged sword. It cut everybody, men and women. You understand what I'm trying to say to you? Man, this messed up my day.
And he knows how much I cannot stand men like him. And to think like I couldn't even go to sleep in my own house and know that my children are safe. Just by me going to sleep, my children were left unprotected.
Man, just want to show that to you, man. That's sorry, man. That's terrible, man. Well, anyway, man, you let me know what you think about this BS, man. I hate that happened to them kids. I hate that happened to her, man. Man. That's a sad story, ain't it? Anyway, I'll be hollering at y'all pretty soon, man. Y'all take it easy now, you hear?